Well, Cura team, and welcome back to DayZ Technical Food, which is about all things food related. So, in part one, I covered, I guess what you would call domesticated foods. That is, foods that you find and/or foods that you can grow in and around the house yourself. So, the small goods, the snack goods, the canned goods, and then of course all the farm veggies and various other bits and pieces that go along with that. What I want to talk about in this particular episode is wild foods, essentially. And some of the foods are very easy to get, and some of the foods are not. And it involves gathering. It also includes hunting, and it includes different kinds of fishing. And one of the first things I want to talk about is mushrooms and fruit. And the reason why I want to talk about mushrooms and fruit is because you require nothing special to get them whatsoever other than your eyes. So I'm out here near one of these little barns with a little stand of woods nearby, and lo and behold, but there is some mushrooms around. Now, this one is a penny bun, but this penny bun is badly damaged and rotten and mottled, so not the kind of thing that I'm going to be eating. So I'll be getting rid of that penny bun. We have here a parasol mushroom, which again is inedible, badly damaged, rotten. So going to be putting that back. Plants it. Let's have another look, see if there's anything else. There are two other types of mushroom. There's a mushroom called red pine, and there's an oyster mushroom. Here's a penny bun which is in good condition. So this is what a good condition mushroom looks like. It just says raw, and you can eat it. And you can cook mushrooms, and we'll be doing some cooking later. But yeah, you can eat it. Absolutely not a problem. Penny bun, good nutrition. I've obviously got a nutrition chart, and you've seen it before in part one, which has mushrooms in it. Sometimes you get mushrooms around these hay bales, admittedly more so where they're stacked up next to barns or structures rather than actually being in the open field per se. So I don't know if there'll be any down near this, because they're all bales of silage. But generally, yeah, you're looking for little stands of wood. Oh yeah, look, here's a field mushroom. Yes, that's right. That's the other one, field mushroom. Which is raw but in good condition. So that's a keeper. We can hang on to that. So yeah, so field mushroom, parasol, penny bun, red pine, and oyster. They're all the types of mushrooms that I think you can get. And like I said, I don't think there'll be any around here. If this was a stack of straw bales, hay bales, then maybe. Check around the sides. No, nothing there. So yeah, so that's mushrooms. Now listen, there's a bit of a misconception about mushrooms, or there has been a bit of a misconception about mushrooms before. But and I'll link below. Wobo did a thing on mushrooms and mushroom spawning, and I'll paraphrase, but essentially the way it works is all over the map there's little areas like this that has the potential for mushrooms to spawn in, and the mushrooms are spawning in and spawning out all the time. Here's another one. Here's another penny bun in pretty good condition, and basically if there's no player around, it spawns out, right? The map doesn't keep it, it just gets rid of it. What's this over here? This is a dried parasol mushroom, which this has come in dried. Also good, also edible. We can take that. So the mushrooms are spawning in and spawning out. Now, if there's a player within, I think it's 150 meters. So if there's a player within 150 meters of the mushroom when it spawns in, it will stay there. And it can spawn in either of the three states. So it can spawn in fresh, it can spawn in rotten, or it can spawn in dried. A fresh mushroom can either go, I think, 50-50 rotten or dried. A rotten mushroom will always stay rotten, and a dried mushroom will always stay dried when it spawns in. Here's another parasol. Good condition, that one. That's a good condition parasol mushroom. So you see, you don't have to hang around too long before you start finding more and more of these things. And the longer I hang around here, the more and more mushrooms are going to keep spawning in. And all I have to do is wander up and down and up and down and up and down and find these mushrooms. Now that's why there's been this talk about mushrooms as being a way of tracking players. But that's not always true. There's no players here. There's no other players on this server right now. I'm the only person on this server, and these are all spawning in because I'm standing here, and they're becoming persistent as long as I stay within about 150 meters of this spot where all these mushrooms spawn in. So there you go. That's mushrooms, and obviously they all have different characteristics and different different nutritional values, and I'll be covering them later, and I'll be covering how you can cook them and the kind of nutrition you get from them. Trees, especially these kinds of trees, seem to be pretty good, but they'll spawn in any forested areas if you hang around long enough, and anywhere where you see these bales, especially if they're stacked up next to barns or anything. So that, my friends, is mushrooms. So after mushrooms, one of the great free foods that you can find come from these things, trees. And there's three kinds of fruit-bearing tree and three kinds of fruit that you can get, and they're just lying around. You just need to find them. This is a pear. This is a dried pear, perfectly edible. The dried pear. This pear is a rotten pear. Can't eat this. Rotten. Don't eat it. Don't try. And if I was around, there might be a fresh one, but there isn't. So this is the pear tree. It's kind of very reddy color tree here. We'll go and have a look at another tree over here. This particular tree here, kind of very golden color tree. This is a plum tree. There's plums down here. This is a dried plum. Again, perfectly good eating. Two dried plums. Don't think there's any fresh plums yet, but that is the plum tree. And this is a little apple orchard with some apple trees in it. Kind of hard in the orchard situation sometimes. They don't quite spawn the same as if the tree is by itself. There will be apples here somewhere. Here's one, dried. So this is a dried apple. It looks like my son says it looks like an old man's face, which is kind of right. So that's the apple tree. It's got this kind of I think it's actually meant to be, or it could be, an apple on it. People have said. I don't think so. I think it just looks like red leaves, but some people have said it looks like apples. It's got like the red apple bearing fruit on it. I think that's kind of right. I think it kind of looks like that could be the case. Also looks like this, slightly greener, but with the same thing. And again, if I hung around, it would possibly spawn. So yeah, so you see these little orchards and things all over the place. You have to kind of run through them, but the spawning mechanism is exactly the same, the plum tree, as the mushrooms, which is to say, when you're within a certain meterage of these for a certain period of time, it will just keep spawning fruit, and you'll just get a mass and a mass of fruit. Eventually, the spawn locations will all be full. There's only one dry one here, so eventually it'll be full and it'll stop doing it. But you can, if you're, say, you know, night is coming. So say I was going to pop into that house and spend 15 or 20, 30 minutes in there cooking up some food, doing some inventory, doing some whatever. I could come out here and gather a whole load of fruit and go back inside again, and 10, 15 minutes later come outside, gather some more fruit and go back inside again. So fruit, it's free, it's awesome, it's great. It's something that once you get familiar with what the apple tree looks like, what the plum tree looks like, and that one down there, the russety colored one, this one here, once the pear tree look like, you find them everywhere, and a lot of people maybe overlook it, or they're too busy rushing. You know, they're running down the road, and 20 meters away there's a tree with a whole load of fruit under it, and then they complain that they can't find any food. So free food. Don't turn it don't turn it down. But we'll have a look at the nutritional values later. But for now, we're going to move on to something else, which is a little bit more exciting. We're going to move on to hunting. So let's take a moment to talk about hunting now, because one of the other food sources, and very good food sources that you want to get is meat from hunted animals. So I'm going to start with down here. You can hear a chicken. In fact, there is the chicken right there. You can see it. It's a hen. The chickens come in hens and roosters, and they're best killed with a hand weapon. And I find you can kind of sneak up behind them and hit them fairly simply, and that's it. You now have your chicken. And I've been over this before, but just in case you don't know, a chicken takes up a space of 9, as does a rooster. Rooster takes up 9 as well. When you chop it up, you get anywhere between, I think, basically 2 and 5 pieces of meat from it. Don't even ask why you get 5 pieces of breast from one chicken, but you do. So there's a bit of an RNG in how much meat you get from an animal, and indeed how much meat you get from any of the animals. There's a cow over there. We're going to go and have a look at that in a minute. So you've got this chicken here, and what we're going to do is we're going to skin and quarter it, and see what we get from the chicken. Remembering that we're predominantly interested in food at this stage and not interested in anything else. So you see here we got 3 pieces of breast and some feathers and some bone. So from the food perspective, we want the breast. So that's not too bad. 3 pieces of breast from a chicken. Bearing in mind that chicken meat is convenient and it is easy and it is quick to have, but not super filling. And we'll cover that in the nutrition guide for meat when we get to it. So there you go. That was the hen. I'll see if I can rustle up a rooster at some point. But for now, there's a cow over there. So let's go and sort out this cow. This is a rooster. They make a heck of a racket. Same deal though. Sneak up, hit them. Got the rooster there. Skin and quarter it. Let's see how much we get out of our rooster. Three again. So there you go, 3. That's the rooster. Here's another domesticated animal. This is a pig, and that infected is going to chase it. Get away from my pig! And you'll see this when you're out hunting for animals, is that the infected will chase animals. I've seen them chasing pigs a lot, and she's chasing it up into the bush. I'm going to have to go find it. And I've seen them chasing sheep and goats and various things like that. I haven't seen them chasing wild animals. Now I need to go find my pig. So here's my pig, which was killed by the infected. We're up in the trees, so she's killed it. So it's probably seen better days in terms of actually gathering any food from it. But you can still gather food from it, and it's an important thing to bear in mind as well. If you do see infected chasing animals, that sometimes it saves you a bullet. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pork steaks, a few guts, some fat, etc., etc. Pork, pig, no bacon. Sorry to say, can't get bacon. Shame. Ram you. Actually, there's a ram over there. Not normally see 4 together, but okay. Not the smartest. And then sheep never have been. So won't. Right, there we go. Ooh, 12. 12 steaks. 12 mutton. And a fat and some bones and some whatnot and stuff and thing. Yeah, not bad. There you go. Sheep. Thank you. Here's the goat. Lone goat by itself. It's a doe. See how much we get out of the doe. That's not too bad. It's called Chevon. I don't know why it's called Chevon. There's probably some good reason why it's called Chevon. Chevon steaks, 8 of. And some fat and whatnot. So, yeah, not too bad. There you go. That was the goat. Right, so now here we are looking at cows. This is a bit of an unusual one because it looks like there's actually 3 cows here together. One looks like a 2-headed cow. If you have a look down the sights, you see that there's 2 cows sort of very closely together, and another one. They do come in 2 variants and 2 sexes. So these are the 2 variants you can see. There's the grey variant and the brown variant, and I obviously can't see which one's male and which one's female. There may be a variation in how much meat you get from the cows. We'll have a look at that, and I'll be producing a graphic later on just exactly how many different bits of meat you can get from each of the animals. Just be aware when you are hunting larger game like cows, if you kill them cleanly with one shot, like a headshot, which is my intention because these are quite calm and sitting down, you will get a lot more meat than if you open fire with a machine gun and riddle them full of holes, right? So you want to make it a nice clean shot to the head, and there you go. Your cow is now dead. The rest of the cows will get lost. Not in very much a hurry, it seems, by cows. That one's certainly a cow. The other one might be a bull. This was definitely a bull. So we now have the remains of one bull, and we can skin and quarter it. The domesticated cows are really good because obviously they're domestic, so they don't run too much from you if you use a suppressor. So I use the suppressor, and they just don't care. Oh, bye. Now they care. They care so much they're gonna fly. So this is what we get. Lots and lots and lots of food. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16, 18 pieces of very good steak. And you get some hide, you get some guts now, and you get some fat. Now, you can eat guts, but guts is you can't cook guts. They just become ruined. You can eat them, but they will make you sick. So just like eating any raw meat, they will make you sick. You can't even eat a little bit, unless you're going to go with trying to use the multivits thing, where you pop some multivits and then eat some raw stuff. But I wouldn't guarantee that that's always going to work. So that might be something you want to be aware of. So you get plenty of steaks and you get fat. You can cook fat. You can also use fat to light fires, but it is nutritious and has nutritional value. We're only here to talk about nutritional value for this, so you can see an awful lot of meat out of a bull. I mean, you couldn't keep all of that. You know, it's just a massive amount, so it's a massive amount for a single person. So that's cow. Here's another animal. This is I think it's the roe deer that you can see here. So it doesn't have the antlers, and you can hear the noise that they make. So they make it kind of a barking sort of a noise. There they go. No antlers, kind of smaller. You know, not as majestic as the red deer, which is the other deer on the map, obviously, and we'll get one of them soon. Yeah, so this is the roe deer, and you get venison from these. Kind of small, so seven pieces of meat. Not a huge amount, but you know, still not bad. So again, those deer are a little bit more skittish. So you do have to watch out for deer being sort of skittish. So you've got to sneak up on them, you've got to listen, you've got to track them down, and you've got to have a good weapon with good sights and good range. Anyway, that's the roe deer. This is the red deer. That's a doe. There's a stag somewhere. Can't quite see him. There he is. Gotcha. Red deer stag. There you go. Not too bad. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pointer. So let's see what we get for this 8 pointer. That's a tree. That's the tree. Let's get the stag. Don't want bird from the tree. Oh look, it's hollow inside. That's not good. Alright, there we go. Ooh, lots and lots. 17, eh? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. So, yeah, 17 from that stag. Lots of fat. Yeah, they're good hunting, the old stag. Good hunting. Again, you got to kind of sneak up on them, and you got to be careful. You've just got to take your time. But yeah, red deer stag, not bad. This is the wild boar. It's got a very distinctive sound. Right. Hello. Goodbye. Right. Let's see what we get out of the wild boar then. Oh, there we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not too bad, is it? Now, of course, large game animals aren't the only things that you can hunt if you've got the stomach for it. There's 2 predators on the map that you can also hunt. And you can hear the first of them, which is wolves. So, wolves are quite interesting. There's obviously there's quite a few places where they'll spawn naturally. I was just driving up here, and I heard them. To be fair, I do know that this area is a hotspot for wolves anyway, and they do make themselves known. How it works is whenever you come within a certain radius of them, they'll start howling. They'll then start searching for you. Once they find your trail, they will start making their way towards you, and the noise will get a little bit louder. I just need to make sure they can actually find me. Sometimes if you're on a vehicle, they can't actually pathfind to you because they don't know what's doing. Once they get close enough, that's fine. So here they are. They've finally arrived. Seems like just 2 of them at the minute. That's 1. Where's number 2? Oh no, we got 3, 4. Is this one gonna run away? Don't think about it. He's gonna run away. Missed him. So yeah, so once you've killed so many, the rest runs away. which is easy enough. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. There was a pack of 4. You can get anything from solo to I think about 5, maybe 6 max. That's changeable on servers, so it obviously depends. My advice is get on top of something and shoot them, just like I did. But there you go. So I've got some wolves, and you can cut those up, and you get yourself some wolf meat. 9 wolf meat, some guts, some fat, some hide. There you go. Wolves. Turn the tables, eh? Hunter become the hunted, so to speak. This is the last of the big predators. He's gonna go kill a pig, apparently. Right, well, anyway. Bear. Certainly one of the most dangerous. You saw how many shots that I had to get into it. So your best advantage is getting up on top of something, which I did. So here we go. Bear. Let's see, what do we get out of a bear? Brown bear. Not Yogi Bear. Right, well, we get an awful lot of bear pelt, and we get only 4 steaks, and I think the reason perhaps we only got 4 steaks is because I didn't really do a super job of shooting them very well. A couple of fat, and some bones, and some bits and pieces, and some bear pelt. So we come to the last of the terrestrial animals that you can hunt, and actually you can't hunt it, you trap it, and you trap it with this snare trap, and this is for the hare. So what you do is you find a spot, and you put your trap down. It gives you the option to deploy. You can see there's some strange noises. Now you've got a snare trap, and you can see it on the ground. What you need is some fresh fruit. Dried fruit will work, so dried apple will work. So that's all good. So you can put I have tried dried fruit. I have tried fresh fruit. I haven't tried baked or boiled fruit, and I've tried rotten fruit. The rotten fruit did not work. That I can tell you. Dried fruit works. I'm assuming that it must be edible fruit, so if you can eat it, you can use it as bait. And I tried a couple of different types of fruit, and it seems to work fine for any of the types of fruit. It's honestly one of the most contentious things, I think, in the game. I note with Sakhal, the new map, unfortunately there's a branch there. With Sakhal, the new map, we actually see a hare out in the open. There's no hares out here, and that's part of the problem. The only reason I know to put this trap here is because I had to go and look at a third-party tool, which is iSurvive, to figure it out. There's no way that you would know, like, it works here, but does it work over in that field? I don't know, probably not. Does it work in a different field? Probably not. So I don't like that. There's no evidence. I mean, we can't see hares running around, so you don't get the option to go, oh hey, look, there's hares over there, I'll go and set a trap. You have to either go and look at iSurvive or just know somehow. Maybe someone tells you or something, I don't know. But it's not, I don't think it's a very fair way for the game to ask you to do something anyway. So anyway, you set the snare. Now, the thing with stuff like traps, and there's fish traps as well, is that there seems to be a fairly common mechanic, which is, and a lot of people mention the similar kind of mechanic, and I don't know. I know what works, but I've not sat down and empirically taken it apart, and a lot of people have taken apart the code and things and looked at the game and such. You have to leave the area, let's say 150 meters, so you have to like run off 150 meters somewhere else, and you have to stay out of the area for about 15 minutes and come back. Now, the 15-minute rule seems to be to do with spawning mechanisms, in that, and I've heard that before with other things like mushrooms and so on, and fruit off from trees, is that the game checks roughly every 15 minutes. So if it's not there and you wait 15 minutes, then it should be there at some point. So it may not exactly, it might come in 2 minutes after you leave, it might come in 12 minutes after you leave, whatever the situation is. So you've got to run away, stay away for 15 minutes. Like, I've been heading off down to the town, I've been looking for other things. Go to the water, get yourself some water, hang around, come back again, and lo and behold, there is a hare here that you can use. Now, when we're talking about hare yields, I've had the same results consistently. This is a hare leg, and for every time that I've got a hare, I've gotten 4 legs. So I know what Nitno says, and I'll link his video below about his hunting guide. I know what the wiki says, and I know what I've found out. So I'm going to go with what I've found out, if you don't mind, because I'm up to date and they're not. That's the way it is. So there you go. No offense, but there you are. So yeah, so that's it. That's the snare, and that's what it looks like. And we're going to go and get a bunny, shall we? Well, a hare, anyway. Right, and so here we are. Here's a hare. So this is what happens when you get the hare. So you get a hare, 1 hare, similar to a rabbit, longer ears, well prepared. It will be quite tasty. So it takes up 12, as it is. You can carry it around like a chicken, but you need to prepare it. So let's prepare it. And see how much we get. There you go, 4 legs, so that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they take up 2, and then you've got the additional stuff. And similar to the chicken, as I've said before, so the sum, because of the RNG, the sum total of meat that you can get out of it sometimes takes up more space than the animal itself. I don't, just whatever. Anyway, there you go. So there you go. That's how to snare a hare. Well, Cura team, well, I had very much hoped that I could wrap up this technical series on all things food in 2 episodes, but it seems like that's just simply not possible. There is a few more things that we are still to discuss, namely things like fishing and the different kinds of fishing, some options on cooking and different types of cooking, and a variety of important information such as meat and vegetable decay times, different animal types, different animal meat yields, and various nutritions and things, some of which is covered here, and some of which is covered in infographics, and some of which I've been unable to find in a single source and have had to cobble together. So my apologies for that. I had hoped to get through it, but it's simply not possible, and I want to spend some time going over the last elements, which I think are very important for all of your information, so you can get a full and complete and rounded picture of all things food. So I will be covering that in the next episode, and be going back through a brief recap of some of the things we have covered in terms of found foods and agriculture and the hunting, and I will cover fishing and some cooking and a bunch of other bits and pieces. So please stay tuned. Please click a like for this or any of the other videos in the DayZ technical series. Please subscribe to the channel. The more likes and the more subscriptions I get for video content like this encourages me to do more, longer and in-depth technical episodes. And yeah, stay tuned for the final part, which will sum up all of the information and give you some valuable tidbits that you need to know. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation